In Investing 101, there's so much to watch with the market action. We are turning to Jeff Bishop, a founder of Raging Bull, to help us out today. Good to have you here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. That's great.
Well, as I mentioned, there's a lot going on here. Impeachment proceedings, talk of recession, and trade talk. So what are some tips to prepare for what might be coming next?
You know, the impeachment is one thing. I think people get too focused on headlines day to day, and you just need to focus on the big picture a lot of times. I think as traders and investors overall, we get so headline driven when we just need to focus on the bigger picture overall. Recession is definitely on people's minds, of course. If you look at Google or any paper out there, you're going to see it all the time coming up. The markets are not always right, though, so who knows? I personally think we're getting really close, and we probably are going to dip into a recession soon, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean it's going to be that terrible.
Headlines are definitely moving the market. We've seen the Dow even take about a 900-point dip in one day. So what are your thoughts about staying safe with your money?
You know, a recession doesn't mean we're in a depression, really. It doesn't mean like everyone's going to be out of work suddenly. It's just a pullback in the economy for a short period of time. So recessions do not mean the world's ending by any means. But there's a lot of prudent things I think investors and people in general can be doing right now. Like if you've been in the market a long time and you have a lot of gains on the table, maybe it's time to start pulling some of those out. Maybe you should reallocate somewhere else where the capital's a little safer. You know, if you're working a job, evaluate like how confident are you that job will be there tomorrow? If the economy was to pull back a little bit, would you have reserves in the bank to be able to ride out a few months out of work? So I'd start saving more money, planning for things to get a little bumpy along the way. And if things are wrong, well, at least you got money in the bank. You're making good decisions anyways.
Jeff, what are you doing with your money?
I keep my money allocated between pretty conservative, so I have a lot of municipal bonds. I have boring stuff out there that's just very safe, steady Eddie. I have allocated towards more stable stocks and more speculative. And then I always keep about 10% of my money, what I call high octane money. That's my big trading accounts. That's what I'm be actively trading with day to day in the markets.
I understand that you trade biotech stocks. I always say you have to have a steel stomach to trade biotechs. So what do you do to handle that situation?
Have a strong stomach for sure. You know, there's a lot of ways to trade these without having a ton of risk. I mean, a lot of things with biotechs, I like to play FDA approvals we know are coming up in the future. And not holding through these kind of known events, but playing into them. I think there's a lot of trading opportunities leading up into those, but holding into FDA events really, really takes a lot of fortitude, and honestly, that's not my thing. I like playing them into these events and trading out before the event happens. Because a lot of times we'll see the stocks run higher and higher in anticipation, but I can have a good profit before the FDA even happens, so I like to be out.
What general tips do you have for people preparing for their financial future?
You know, I think a great thing to look at is overall employment. So Trump can tweet anything today, and the markets are going to go crazy up or down one way or the other. We can think we have China figured out, but we don't. We don't know what's going on. But is employment looking good? Is corporate earnings, are they strong? Are they growing? These are the kind of things that are the core parts of the economy, and honestly, they look really good, especially when you compare the U.S. to the rest of the world. We look fantastic. So America looks really good right now. I don't think it's a time to panic. I mean, I don't mind taking some profits off the table, reallocating somewhere safer, but honestly, I'm not going to panic. I don't think things are falling apart. You know, we've been most of the people have been predicting a recession or a market crash for 5 or 6 years now, and it just hasn't happened. Anything is very short term and it gets bought back really quickly, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.